Legacy 90.1 FM. Feel the vibe. Feel the vibe.
Hey, this is Stevie Street's Legacy 90.1 FM. This is the Afrobeats Fresh Show. Live on the line, we have got a true superstar out of Nigeria, signed to an incredible record label, Mavin Records. He's had some very big hits over the last year or two. His name is Ladipoe. Mr. Ladipoe, how you doing, sir?
I'm blessed. I'm so blessed to be on the show right now, Stevie.
Listen, I believe you're bringing some big energy as well.
Hey, that's the only energy to bring right now is big energy.
I believe you're in, we pulled you out of a studio session, is that correct?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I was in the studio session.
Dare I ask, what are you recording? Can we get, we've got an exclusive here.
We were actually just starting to, work on, so I haven't even, made any of the music, but we're just starting to, get into the groove, get into the vibe to see where we're going to go with it.
I see. Now, I have kind of followed your career from the Mavin Records stable. Just briefly tell us, what was going on before then for you to get to that level? What happened?
Like any other artist who believes that their music is meant to be beyond just them and a few people, I was pushing my music independently. I was releasing songs, I was going to radio, I was performing at shows, at open mic night. I was all over the place just trying to get my sound out. And along the way, I came across the path of Don Jazzy, who has Mavin Records. And, a couple of labels actually started to ask me questions. But, I eventually decided to go with Mavin because I felt like they were on a path for something bigger and they were at a crossroads. They were taking a risk and I was taking a risk every day with my music. And I feel like if I'm going to partner with anybody, they need to be taking just as much of a risk as I am. So I ended up partnering with Mavin. But that independent life is so critical to my career today because I move with that energy. I never know how it's going to go, so I give it everything all the time. I
mean, what I want to know is, how have you personally adjusted, not just as an artist, but in your personal life, having big hits? How have you adjusted to that life? What's it been like for you? What's it been like for your family and your friends?
That's a really good question, man, I swear. I think the biggest adjustment for me is learning how to still make music while being busy. That's a balance that I'm even still trying to strike today. Because, give you an example, we're just in the studio and I have to be on radio as well. But both are just as important as the other, right?
Sure.
So it's like, how do I make sure that the energy is great for each one and I'm being excellent each time? So that's the balance. I'll say that's the biggest change for me, the biggest thing. Now, family, wow, Stevie, that's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's the biggest sacrifice because there's no way to give 100% to your craft without it taking a toll on your family.
Sure.
But the thing is, I have a strong support system and I'm grateful for that.
How have your personal friends been around you as well? Have any of them changed? Did they feel you've changed?
No way, the same people, the same homies. Of course, there are new people around as well. And, over time, I decide if they should be in the inner circle or not. And you become a little bit more observant, more quiet when new people walk into the room. You don't know people's intentions anymore. But at the same time, my core friends are still very much the same, except that I miss a couple of birthdays every now and then.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Now, one thing I found playing Afrobeats over half a decade now is the sound of Nigerian rap. Kind of years ago, I kind of felt it was in a place that UK rap was in the early 90s. It didn't know whether it wanted to be UK rap or American sounding. Where do you feel Nigerian rap is at this moment?
I think Nigerian rap is finding its feet now. We had a big golden period around the 2000s, the late 2000s. There was just a lot of rappers pushing the boundaries, making it really fun to be a rap artist, and making big records that everybody in Nigeria was listening to. And then Afrobeats took away a lot of that market. I won't say took away. It grew its own market share and became the dominant sound, and that's great. It continues to push boundaries. But as a result, a lot of rappers kind of either shifted to that sound or lost their voice. And I feel like now I'm giving them a new confidence to be like, no, it's cool to do it. And there's actually ways to blend the sounds. You know, I say African rap is a fusion of so many different things. And I think now is actually a great period. There's so many like young rappers flowing in ways that nobody has even heard of.
Sure.
Or taking existing styles and putting them on sounds nobody has considered. So me, personally, Stevie, I think it's really exciting times. I think in the next 5 years, we're going to be having this conversation again, like over a cigar and some drinks saying, wow, look how far we've come.
Let's hope so. Last week, I spoke to Simi, and I told her that she kind of picks her collaborations very, very wisely. She obviously collaborated with you. Tell me about that big record, Know You.
Oh, Know You. First off, shout out to Simi. I just had a show where we were both on the same show last night. It's always so good to see her. That song was a very special song. We actually made it in 2017, but released it in 2020. And I think that says it's special because it shows, number one, the relevance of the subject matter. Like it was still relevant till then. And when you put two good writers in the studio, you will come up with magic, you know. And I think I released it at such an amazing time because the whole of Nigeria was listening. The whole of Africa was listening, and it crossed international borders as well. It became that lockdown anthem. Like today, still to today, the energy when I perform that song is amazing. So I'm really grateful for that collaboration. Plus, it won me my first Heady in Nigeria as well. So I just think that, you know, these things, you can't call it. The best thing to do is just make the music.
Sure. Now, when I look at Mavin Records and the family that you've got there of artists, it kind of reminds me of what was going on, say, in the 90s with Bad Boy Records, with Death Row Records, with Uptown Records. Tell me, give us an insight of what it's like at Mavin Records.
Mavin it's about the people. It's about the people, you know. Like I think at the end of the day, that's one of the things that really makes it tick. So we have our A&R team who they give so much to each song, each release. You can see it. You can see how they're working overtime. The marketing team, you know, down to HR, down to our COO, who is such a big music brain. You know, everybody is constantly pushing even the producers, the engineers. Like it doesn't feel like. On the outside, it's like Mavin Records, the big African label, but inside, I know nearly everybody by name.
Wow!
You know, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like when I win, it's such a team win for me because I can see they're so happy. They knew what it was like before, and to see the success some of us are gaining now, some of the artists, the people in the label are almost more excited than we are. So I think that says a lot. It says a lot. There's a lot of camaraderie here right now.
I mean, I was slightly concerned, and I think a few others were when Tiwa Savage left, but they gave us Rema, and they seem to have not looked back since, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Rema, Ira, you know, Magix has come out now. Crayon just dropped. Crayon, we did a family record, Overdose. Crayon is on that. Crayon is about to drop a new one right now, and that song is going to be a smash. You know, so it's like, I think more than anything, it's a testament to Jazzy. Jazzy is a big music brain, but more than anything, all of us on the label are hungry.
Sure.
Like hungry. Like to me, this is my life. This is my life.
Before we play your new single, actually, tell me about your EP that you've got out right now. There's a few collabs on that as well. Tell me about the process of that.
Providence. Providence was a 2-year process. I recorded the first track in 2019. The first track is actually the last track on the EP. It's called Providence. And Providence means timely preparation for future eventualities. I've always felt like times like this will come for me, you know, and I had to be ready. It's not easy to stay prepared when you don't know how it's going to be, when it's going to happen, you know. So to me, it's there's a phrase I like to use, I'm patiently aggressive, you know. So Providence is just me telling people where I am at that particular point in time. Me also like connecting with artists that I really love, that I've wanted to work with for some time. Fireboy is a great example. I've been wanting to work with him for about 2 years now, and we finally cut a record. Rema is my label mate. Amare's voice is golden, you know, so those collaborations are very important to me. But the other tracks as well, I love them. LOTR 2, I literally give you a Polaroid snapshot of my mind state at that time, you know, and so it's also a precursor for the project that is to come, you know. So I'm very intentional with my music. I'm glad people gravitated towards the project. I can't wait to what comes next.
Fantastic. You know, the sound, the Afro beats, the Afro fusion sound does change. It keeps moving on, and I'm noticing a trend at the moment pertaining to your new single of like really big vocal choruses. It sounds like there's 100 people in the studio singing the chorus. Maybe it's just vocal stacks, but where's this trend come from all of a sudden?
That's so interesting because like I particularly like that question because it shows how like attentive you are to the space. It's just, I mean, this is something that has been in, you know, not just in Nigerian music, but in music since time, you know. But yeah, this year it seems like it's picked up even more, you know. And I know that they use it on Finesse. Ashake is using it on his records. Everybody's like using that to just kind of bolster their hooks. And ours was in a way unintentional because I had a very unusual studio session. On that studio session in particular, I had like 9 people in the studio, which is so rare. It's so rare for me. I usually record is like just me, the producer, and my managers, you know. But that particular day, the producer brought his photographer, brought a female friend, brought his brother. I had my 2 managers. I met a random guy who said his girlfriend liked music. Well, I come down to the studio. So Stevie, all of a sudden, I had like a 10-man session. And then when I recorded the hook, the producer was like, "Yo, everybody jump on this." It was literally that kind of, since you're here, y'all might as well kind of idea. But like you said, that trend is there. I'm happy Big Energy has it because I think people are drawn to the record because of this.
Sure.
But at the same time, it just makes for good. It makes for good music. Trends come and go, but I like this particular trend. Others not so much.
Sure. Is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go, Ladipoe?
I want to say, first and foremost, big shout out to you because, you know, for somebody to tap into a sound that is new, I know not a lot of you have heard of, it takes bravery, and I like risk takers.
Thank you.
You know, and also that this music that we're pushing, it's not for the moment. This is coming to stay. Afrobeats is blazing a big trail. It's the train that is moving forward, but behind that train, there's a lot of carriages. You know, the rap scene is part of that. What I'm pioneering is part of that too. So you're going to be hearing a lot of diversification coming out soon as well. So get ready for that. My name is Ladipoe. I call myself the leader of the revival, and you're going to be hearing a lot more music from me. I guarantee you. But you knew that.
Yeah, I got that big energy. But you knew. Big energy. Big energy. When I come through, big energy. Dark shades on, no they see enemy. I bet that you heard of me. I know they form gangster. Only big